Everyone's selling their XRP, especially Benjamin Cohen. He's not been bullish on XRP at all. So let's check out what's happening on Levi's channel.
Are talking about the
It's been an absolute blast for XRP, and not in a good way.
end of this bull market being right now. And listen, I think that there is a lot of very strong arguments in both directions. A lot of you guys are telling me that the 4-year cycles are ending. We're going to be going higher highs very soon here. A lot of you other guys are also looking at a lot of the moving averages and some other of the halving cycle indicators and saying, no, listen, it's looking like it's a pretty clear indication that the bear market is indeed in full swing. Now, today,
That's what I think. Like, there's two scenarios here. Either we go very heavy down, or the market simply recovers back to 100K. That's what we need to do. We need to go back to 100K, or it's going to be bad.
I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be providing you guys with a very strong argument that's presented by Benjamin Cohen. This guy has been instrumental in calling some of the previous bear markets, and he uses a number of different tools, which I think will be very valuable to you guys, whether or not he is right this time around as well. He's had a really good run predicting a lot of this current bear market, when it would peak for the bull run and when the bear market would start. And he does have a pretty strong argument. I want to bring that to you guys because I think we got to trade the market that we are in, not the market that we want to have. So let's start by just briefly going over XRP on the day here. I mean, it's been an extremely volatile run for XRP. That much is undeniable.
Yeah, so I said if we go below $2, it's going to be bad, but somehow 1.9 and XRP can still recover. I said like $2 is also that emotional point for a lot of traders and people, so it is worrying per se, but it's just like something that nobody expected, especially because November, December, those should be the months that we were really hyping up with the ETFs, and suddenly we get one of the biggest crash drops, which means one of the whales sold. I even saw some whales selling 92 million, not XRP, but Bitcoin. But I guess the same could be said for XRP, right?
I mean, just yesterday, XRP was trading above $2 per coin, testing 214. Then we saw a colossal sell-off, a short little dead cat bounce right here, followed by another very massive sell-off on market open. I've actually discovered something. Large institutions right now are taking an immense amount of profits on their positions. I'll dive a little bit more into that, but first,
I mean, they're all selling for a very simple reason here. All sorts of narratives will circulate. Bitcoin has always topped in Q4 post-halving and then bottom approximately 1 year later. So trade the market you have, not the market you want.
Near the bottom? Well, you're going to be doing really well during the next bull market if that is indeed what is going to be happening here with the bear market coming in full swing.
Could be bear market until like August.
But one thing I want to share with you guys is the level of institutional sell-offs. It's been absolutely insane. What we've been seeing is every single trading day for the last 2 weeks at exactly 9:30 a.m. Eastern, a large aggressive sell order hits the Binance Bitcoin USDT perpetual futures market. This is thousands of Bitcoin per day that's being sold off, and the total amount has been roughly 30,000 Bitcoin.
That's definitely going to affect price, in my opinion. When you see something like that, 15,000, of course, like, and there's not enough buyers, you'll see a huge market crash.
It's for Bitcoin is that recognizing that they tend to start in Q4 of the post-halving year. Okay, so there is in fact a chance that this time is not different, despite us all wanting it to be. Who doesn't want Bitcoin to go to 200K, right? I would love it if it could do that, but at the same time, we have to be aware that we could be in a bear market, right? And you know, there's definitely like evidence mounting to really start to suggest that, and there has been for a while. We've talked about some of them already. One of them
made me cough how terrible I hear the bear market coming, because we've been expecting a massive bull run rally in November, and again, we've been absolutely swindled off that. Look at this big drop red candle here. This is the same thing that happened with XRP.
It's below the 50-week moving average, then the odds would probably go up to over 80% that the top is in. You know, is there a chance that you know, Bitcoin could get some type of rally back up and sweep the high on some type of like massive bearish divergence? Yeah, like it's possible. If you look at like the RSI, I mean, all these highs have been lower highs, and Bitcoin's been able to go into higher highs despite the RSI showing clear weakness for a while. The problem is that the weekly RSI is starting to break down. And normally when the weekly RSI breaks down from like a level that it's been holding for a while, usually it in fact means that the cycle is in fact over. So when we think about it, we have to think about, all right, well, this seems like a bear market in a lot of different ways for Bitcoin. And that doesn't mean that your altcoin can't go put.
I mean, this is the thing. Like, even if it's a bear market, the market must return somehow in like a year or so. This is just the long term. We might be locking in those long term like bear winters.
A new all-time high. Some alts are already putting in new all-time highs. More altcoins could continue to put in new all-time highs. I'm not talking about your alt. I would, of course, never do that. What I'm saying is that for Bitcoin, it seems like the tides have started to turn here and that we're kind of in this downturn after a non-euphoric peak, right? It's a non-euphoric peak, which is very different from the 2013 peak, the 2017 peak, and the 2021 peak. So in one sense, this time is not different in the fact that it seems like the top's occurring at the same time that it always does, and that's Q4 of the post-halving year. In another way, it's entirely different because when you look at the social interest in crypto,
there's just not many people buying, right? At that point, there's not many people interested as 2021.
This is a non-euphoric peak. This is not like 2021 and it's not like 2017 in the sense that it's not accompanied by euphoria. And so why is that? Like, why is there no euphoria? What's going on? Why did the alt season never happen that everyone kept calling for? Well, one of the things we looked at recently was the ISM, Purchasing Managers Index. And that kind of shows you, it's the manufacturing, shows you kind of this Main Street idea of like, look, in these prior peaks, the PMI was way up here. But this time, it's way down here. Main Street is struggling, right? They don't have this excess liquidity to go buy crypto with like they did in the last three peaks. In fact, it looks a lot more like, again, what happened in 2019, right? It looks a lot more like what happened in 2019, where Bitcoin went up, but it left the altcoin market behind. And so you could argue that we've entered into this type of downturn right here, right? That type of downturn. And if that is the case, then we also have to include that as well in our bear market projections. Now, in that case, Bitcoin dropped about 50%, even if you exclude the pandemic crash, right? So let's just exclude that for a moment. And let's just pretend like Bitcoin didn't go through that right there, okay? It was about a 50% drop. The reason why a 50% drop from the high does seem like an eventual outcome is because you can also see that in all these prior midterm years, or sometimes in other years, but Bitcoin tends to check in with its 200-week moving average. Last cycle, it even went below it. And so when you look at the 200-week moving average, it's currently at around 55 to 56K. Now, by the time you're looking at like mid next year, it's going to be closer to 60 to 70K. You know, if you like look at where it is on that line, you can see how it'll be between, say, 60 to 70.
That's scary. That's actually scary because he's basically saying that we might be entering 60 to 70K Bitcoin.
Actually resulted in us hitting these peaks right here. If you guys were around back then, that's exactly what happened. If you weren't, well, now you know. 26 for us to get a very significant rally once again.
So yeah, first we go down, then we go up. Is that the point? I mean, that's pretty much crazy. So yeah, 60 to 70K, maybe until like, you know, a few months after is what's happening right now. Until then, we'll just have to wait here and stay strong, you know, guys. As you can see, I'm a bit sick. I haven't been uploading much. I've been uploading other content, but I'll keep you guys updated with more news. Until next time, peace, everyone. Welcome back, everyone. So seemingly the crypto market just crashed, and we're seeing the same thing we're seeing for the last couple of really 20 years is just buy the rumor and sell the news. We're always seeing something like that. something terrible happens, and then suddenly the markets recover, right? Which is absolutely incredible. But President Trump says his meeting with Chinese President Xi Jinping was amazing. A lot of decisions were made, and the market suddenly decided to crash, and XRP decided to go down. What a terrible news this is, right? And again, last time it was tariffs. Like we were hearing, 5 months ago, tariffs are going to destroy everything. Now suddenly tariffs are okay and all right, and nothing is wrong, and tariffs are bumping the prices. This is why I don't follow this general news anymore. It's just going to fry your brain at this point. But President Trump announces the US China have reached a 1-year trade deal on rare earths and critical minerals. Like, why did the price crash? Rare earths are essential for batteries, military equipment, and electronics, 70% of global supply in China. A 1-year deal means ongoing uncertainty for companies. Markets prefer permanent agreements. Like, 1-year deal? I mean, isn't that good?
Have reached a 1-year trade deal on
negotiated every year. Okay, so because we got negotiated every year, the crypto market just decided to crash again. Like, the crypto markets are so unstable right now, and this is very concerning. Like, if this type of news crashes the crypto markets, we are still super early in crypto.
Making a record levels of investment, but there's also something else happening as well. Total spot Bitcoin ETF trading volume has surpassed 1 billion in the first 30 minutes of trading today. This is, of course, historic. This is extremely high levels of volume, but this is also heavily driven by institutions.
Yeah, like the whales are buying. The little whales are buying billions.
Institutions are currently manipulating the markets to their benefit. They are currently trying to elevate the levels of fear in the market because of one piece of news we're going to get into in just a little bit, in order to make you guys panic sell, in order to make you guys impatient, in order to make you guys make the wrong decisions.
I just feel it's like there's so many of these whales which are probably just buying and selling whenever they hear good news and bad news. Again, this is super risky, so don't do it. But these whales, they must know something. JP Morgan to launch investment fund tokenization platform in 2026. They're chasing controlled tokenization. Sounds futuristic, but it's just Wall Street moving into blockchain. I mean, that's something that right now XRP is doing, tokenization. That's the real big thing that, a lot of these platforms are pushing on, and a lot of big thing they're saying, everything's going to save tokenization, is going to save crypto. Could be another NFT game scenario where NFT games, just completely crashed because, as I predicted, nobody's going to play NFT games at that point.
The best possible entry right now, today, in order to capitalize on this when this happens in 2026. Of course, you're going to want the best possible entry right now before all of the new ETFs come for all of the altcoins, before all of the banks start offering the crypto custodial services. You're not an idiot.
Exactly. They're preparing for, like, crypto is here to stay, obviously. That's what they're trying to say.
From the crypto market in the past 60 minutes alone. So, yes.
So, yeah, where did this all money go? It went into, like, whales.
What about the one that's actually causing fear? Well, it mostly stems from this particular post right here. The Donald Trump here used the N word, and not the N word you might be thinking. It's the NUCLEAR word, talking about this particular type of weapon. And they're talking about testing this weapon, right? Why would the U.S. want to test this weapon? Well, Trump says they want to test this weapon in order to stay competitive with Russia and China. Okay? I mean, yeah, a logical point. They're testing their weapons. Why aren't we testing ours, kind of deal, right? That's essentially what he's saying. And so people look at this and they're like, oh, well, this could potentially mean...
I think at this point, anything that happens in crypto, like any good news, bad news, it's going to drop the markets. Look at stocks. Stocks are going up because why? Stocks don't care about small news like that. But suddenly crypto, because it's very small, which is a good thing because it means XRP can go up, right? When something like that drops or goes up, it definitely shows you that they have the power to make these changes. So, like, we are seeing some of the biggest drops right now. It just seems that crypto is super early, which also means that XRP has way more potential. That's going to be it for this video. A bit shorter today, but you get the idea of what exactly is happening behind the news. Smash that like button. Terra Luna Classic might just be delisted, and here's why. From Kraken.
Your belief doesn't stop with a delisting. But if you didn't believe in it and you never really believed in it, then obviously it can end here. Or if you just wanted to see the gains and you don't want to experience anything else or find another place to hold it, you can sell that as well.
This is the biggest problem. They've just been listed on Kraken, and bad news after bad news for Terra Luna Classic, to be honest. Matthew Perry has been there since day one. It's been like 3 years, and now regulation has kicked in, and you know, nobody wants to hold the bad bag for Terra Luna. Nobody wants to hold the bad name.
Or if you just wanted to see the gains and you don't want to experience anything else or find another place to hold it, you can sell that as well, right? I'm not going to tell anybody that they have to hold anything. So we're going to talk about that in this video. If you guys could, make sure you hit the like button, hit that subscribe button. But I got an email from Kraken.
Kraken will become a scheduled delisting of USD Luna 2. So it's not just Luna 1, it's also Luna 2, which was being built on Project Ethereum W, which is the old Ethereum. Tether USD, I guess that's the normal move. But look, all these like coins, trading and deposits for these assets will be disabled, but the remaining balances will be liquidated to complete the process. I mean, this is absolutely terrible. They basically delisted one of these coins. And again, it's to top 188, so it's not doing that bad. But the trading volume has been absolutely terrible in the past few days for Terra Luna Classic. This is, I mean, it's really bad news for Terra Luna Classic overall.
That even if you hold, you will then end up having that force sold.
So yeah, even if you're holding, it will be sold for profit. It's a bit scary, right? Like all of your Terra Luna Classic oversold.
Wanted to believe in it, they still hold it, right? They still have that bullish sentiment. They still believe in this play and what they're going to do. Me being one of them. I still believe in Terra Luna Classic. Just because a delisting happens doesn't mean that it makes me feel horrible about that. For instance, XRP. XRP was delisted from many platforms, including...
That's what I agree. Like if you look at Terra Luna Classic over here, the bear market hit it hard. It's like maybe like 30% past this year. And it definitely didn't do any favors. But if you look at back, you know, in the past of what happened, I can't believe it's already been 3.5 years since what happened with Terra Luna. So time flies really fast. 3.5 years, guys. 3.5 years, 2023, 2024, 2025. This is what's happening in crypto. It's like it flies so fast.
Platforms that are delisting and haven't seen this volume for it. Maybe they're trying to clean up their balance sheets. I really don't know because they don't want a 1-to-1 ratio with something that's consistently losing. But then when it starts winning, they're going to be playing the game to where they're buying high and selling low, right? Instead of buying low and selling high. For me,
I'm a bit worried for Terra Luna if it can survive the bear market. There was a lot of drama there as well.
Throw a lot over there, right? Kraken is not going to have that ability to throw a lot over there, but you're still going to have things like buying.
You have these as long as Binance does not delist it. I remember when they delisted like many of them, but Kraken doesn't even come near trading volume, and they probably think, okay, Binance has 2.6 million trading volume. Let's actually check that for Terra Luna Classic. Who has the most trading volume past 24 hours? Binance has about $5 million. So about 50% is coming from Binance. Then 1.1 million is coming from MXC. Like Kraken is 666,000. Yeah, it isn't bad. It's 600,000 again. You can see FEMX 700,000. It's not that crazy.
MetaMask here, and I have 100 million Luna over here, or Luna.
So $3,000 of Luna. Like Luna really dropped like from its all-time hype simply because there were other tokens on bound.
1% of that, 1% of my 100 million coins is $1 million.
If Terra Luna Classic goes back to $1, anyone like would be a millionaire.
1% of my 1 million coins is 1 million coins.
But I don't, even if it reaches a cent, like that would be amazing.
Which if you're at 1 cent, that is 1% of $1. So I would be at $1 million if that is the case. So I still believe that this is a sleeping giant. I still believe heavily in this project, but
that's why I'm excited. I'm excited to see what happens.
It doesn't mean that you have to feel the same way. Right? If you're afraid of this, then you can be afraid of it. If you want to get out of it, you can get out of it. I'm simply just telling you what I'm doing and what I believe in. So It's nothing scaring me here. It's just making me more bullish, honestly. So,
I mean, as well, like it's just regulation. They had to remove USDT, like they had to remove Tether. That this did not stop, Tether at all when they remove USDT, one of the biggest pairs for Kraken. It's just like on abroad to bigger population. They don't want to hold the bad bag, and I think that's the most important factor is they don't want to get caught in holding like this meme coins that maybe have no volume, but they catch a lot of pressure, if you guys get me. What do you guys think? Smash that like button. Welcome back, everyone. So we do have more updates today on, well, XRP. XRP is having an official event. Again, finally, we're having some good events over here. But Ripple Swell, November 4th to 5, New York, with big players joining up.
Event that happens every single year.
And it's good because this is literally, the bank CEOs all coming together. Smash that like button, guys, if you haven't already. Basically coming in and saying, hey, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, and, we're going to make some deals. That's how, like, the $200 million deal was made at this point.
It brings together some of the largest financial institutions and partnerships that the crypto industry has ever seen. We do have a full calendar breakdown of all of the meetings and discussions that are going to take place, and we're going to go ahead and speculate on what we think is going to happen here. We also have some stuff from Jack McDonald, Reese, and some other people on the Ripple team getting prepared for Swell. So there's a kickoff video here that I want to play, and then let's go ahead and get into the calendar.
So yeah, Ripple Swell is basically this big event of key players that are going to be coming to crypto and who don't understand XRP yet, but want to work on it long term, or just people who are interested in XRP. I just find that pretty much awesome. This is the president of Ripple, Monica Long. So again, this is like a big company, it's trying to become the next Apple, but it's really the company working in the background, because a lot of these companies, they're super big. Like you hear about NVIDIA a lot, but before they were just making microchips. If they didn't become like a meme company and talked about people, they'll still be earning tons of money.
And everything else that's going to happen. There's also some additional XRP information after we get past this. All right.
Cultural and business connector between North and South America.
There is no longer this dichotomy between digital assets, crypto, traditional finance. There is a very real convergence.
The role that Ripple is playing in the industry is to really help bridge traditional finance and decentralized finance. The two financial systems need each other.
Welcome back, everybody.
How awesome is it that we are actually witnessing the creation of a new asset class?
What we're starting to see is a lot of people are starting to move into stable coins so they can be trade ready to move into any.
I guess this will take some time, right? The CEO Moonpay is saying that, but that might take a few years for sure.
Other asset.
Our vision is looking forward to tokenization of real world assets, financial and non-financial assets.
Institutions see simply this is math. This is not just an alternative asset class. It's math that works. I'm a firm believer that you can protect consumers and markets and foster responsible innovation, grow a thriving market at the same time.
We want this to be an event where people come together, not just to work with Ripple, but to work with each other.
In 20 or 30 years, when we look back, crypto is going to have a much bigger impact.
Yeah, in 20, 30 years. So again, this is a long-term project. XRP is here for the long term, not just for 5 days or so like a lot of these meme coins are.
And it's really incredible being able to connect all of these financial institutions together. Even if they don't work with Ripple directly right now, it does set the stage for innovation and growth in the industry. And I think that is super important here. Bringing the institutions in, bringing the regulators and the Congress people and the senators, all of these people need to be on the same page so innovation can move forward. And
that's true. And a lot of these people, maybe they will buy Ripple or just exchange ideas. It's more like of a smaller event, I'm guessing. Especially in New York, I don't know how many people are going to show up. It's not going to be like Disneyland. But what's the good news is a lot of these key speakers are going to be there. CEO of NASDAQ. Again, CEO of NASDAQ is going to be a Ripple event. This is how big Ripple is.
So, if anyone wants to show up early.
And like bank people, yeah.
And start networking and pre-event meetups, that's going to be really cool.
I mean, you could listen to CEO of NASDAQ, like the billionaires over here talking. That's completely insane. And Ripple is organizing all that, which is pretty much amazing.
And capital markets, you have Maxwell Stein here from BlackRock and Rory Callaghy. Sorry about that, Rory, from Moody's. And then the next panel here is going to be on stablecoins and blockchain.
So yeah, a lot of these crypto pros will come just because of the events they're organizing, basically. Regulatory trends, fighting financial crime in history, closing keynotes, including a fireside chat or fireside with Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse. Impact use cases continue to show what stablecoins can really do this year. Ripple has deployed $50 million for social goods across XRP and ETH, and they're playing with big capital here. We're showcasing how blockchain payments drive real-world impact, and they're actually putting some fun money on the side, which is $50 million to show what the properties can do or what their assets can do, right?
Excited to be building new partnerships that put purpose into payments. And so he was highlighting here ahead of Ripple Swell, we're showcasing how blockchain payments can drive real world impact. And, I gotta say, it's one thing to build the next evolution of technology. It's another thing altogether to be doing that and remain focused on what's important, giving back and building new structures so people that are in desperate need of capital, food, whatever it is, can get to that place very quickly. Usually when a disaster strikes, it could take days to get money into whatever region or whatever place it needs to get into. Using blockchain, we can speed that up to seconds, and that could mean life or death for some people that are in.
Exactly. Like if you need to transfer something fast, basically Ripple can do it. And we're coming to a point where Ripple is pushing for the fastest payments possible. So that's the point I was trying to make. Now, real estate, if they can hit the real estate market, this would be a very huge market that they can tap in. Again, trillions and trillions of dollars, even if they can get a very small minority of that. Financial services, supply chains, and art and collectibles. All of these are a great win if Ripple can get them. But we're just going to have to see, right? Korean exchanges, they are already super popular in Korea, which is one part. XRP trades at a roughly 2 to 3 Bitcoins volume. So that's what I'm telling you. I'm guessing in that country, right? In Korea itself. So I feel like right now XRP is being talked more than Bitcoin. So let that sink in, guys.
Over 20% of all trading. Western markets still treat Bitcoin as the default. Korea skipped right past that. This is exactly why we built.
So yeah, they trade more XRP than they trade Bitcoin, which is absolutely amazing what they're doing in Korea. Like, if we expand to other Asian parts, imagine what would happen to XRP's price. Smash that like button. You can see I'm pretty tired today, so thank you so much. This crypto crash we have today, it's not good. It's not good, guys, and I'm going to be explaining everything I can today. Smash that like button if you haven't already. I keep up with daily crypto news, but let's get right into it. What happened? Crypto crashed. Is it bad? Yes. New week's looking XRP coded, posted by Gemini. Of course, they have a Gemini wallet. They want to take all of the XRP buyers, which is a big majority of these viewers that we have here. It's a very big factor, like, of people buying. It's actually more people buying XRP than buying Bitcoin right now.
Believe in XRP, but because you make money off of XRP. So fuck you, Gemini, and all the other exchanges.
They make a lot of money. So next week's looking real XRP coded. And they always tweet about that, but we don't know anything. So again, when was this posted? As we thought, there was a lot of bad news for XRP in general, and Gemini says next week is looking real coded. I think they're just getting attention from that. They're not it's not like something they know. And then when you check the prices are down. XRP 10%, $2.34. So unless they announce and say, we want to buy 100 million XRP, I just ain't buying it. If they buy 100 million XRP or something like that, or 50 million or 20 million, that would be amazing. But I don't think that would happen. They earn money through the commission, people selling the wallets, or using their crypto cards. Those are some of the parts, right?
The United States tweeting about Bitcoin and its reliability. This is what Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent said. Earlier in the day, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent sent the market really for a whirl into the pooper when he said there's already some signs of recession poking through the old economy, that some sectors have gone south. This is what Bessent said. 17 years after the white paper, the Bitcoin network is still operational and more resilient than ever. Bitcoin never shuts down. The Senate Dems could learn something from that. Throwing a little shade. But
so yeah, Bitcoin never shuts down. That's awesome, but the prices can go down for a long time, Michael, because yeah, the government shutdown did happen, and that's what really made the prices go wild. of course, long term, still probably fine, right? But Michael's strategy kickstarts November with 45 million Bitcoin. Guys, he's going to keep buying no matter what, right? He will always keep buying. Even crypto is down, crypto is up. Because, yeah, it is still very early for crypto. But look at this. Like, XRP is probably realizing we're coming in shortly towards the long haul for crypto. So, you know, it could be like another 4 years until XRP explodes at that point.
And then they used the money to buy shit. Ripple has acquired digital wallet provider and custody firm Palisade. I like that word, Palisade. The blockchain-based fintech company announced on Monday, again, more breaking news, Buenos noches, Buenos dias, and Buenos tardes, wherever the fuck you are in the world. The acquisition is expected to increase the firm's custody capacity, allowing Ripple to better serve its crypto-native firms, fintech companies, and other corporations. Oh, I like that. Secure digital asset custody unlocks the crypto economy and it's the foundation that every blockchain-powered business stands on. That's why it's central to Ripple's product strategy. So again, they're focusing on custody, vertical integration. Ripple focusing on institutions, vertical integration, saving them money, making them profit. They don't have.
I mean, they just need to keep building. I feel like if XRP just does what it keeps doing, it's gonna be in pretty good spot, guys. Like, that's the thing. XRP at this point is profitable, so anything it does, it's gonna be pretty good in my opinion. And that's what I'm excited about, right? This is where XRP really wins in the long term. They're profitable now. They don't care about the XRP prices that much, but they're on a good spot to go ahead and go to the moon.
Making money on
if they can survive another 4 years, which I don't think like they will go bankrupt for any reason.
How cool is that? I got my dogs all cool, got around. Either way, it's rough right now for the markets, man.
Exactly.
Like, there is very little confidence right now in the markets. But remember, we're looking at this more of an intermediate term right now, right? For pricing. Long term, we know we're going to get the regs. Long term, we know the economy is going to pull around. But when Bessent is going on the mic earlier saying, yo, we got some problems here, that's going to shake the markets. When Jerome Powell and the Fed dump nearly $30 billion in liquidity in the market, they got some problems. Credit facility alert. Uh-oh, wee-woo. Yeah, so risk assets like crypto are taking a bath.
I mean, yeah, it's going to be all assets. Like, even gold dropped in price, as far as I know, not as much. But it is becoming a problem that anything bad news that you see nowadays, and just in general, anything with politics, anything with markets, economy, crypto is going to be the first one to take the big hit and punch. And nothing else. It's very sad at this point, but just what it is. You can't really change it. The markets will go down, and they do go back up. Sometimes it's really good news for crypto. And this is just how crypto works. It's way too unstable at this point, but it might improve in the future. I'm really hoping so. Again, I don't want to wait 4 years for XRP to explode again, because it's going to be a long time before it actually goes, back to the moon. But this is a probable scenario that at some point, XRP starts going down, and further down. And suddenly what ends up happening is we have to wait another 4 or 5 years of regulations, just waiting for the markets to improve. That's what happens every 4 years. And that's what I'm kind of concerned about, guys. Smash that like button. So, hey, everyone, a lot of people are saying that the XRP breakout is happening right now, that we got some breaking news. Hopefully you're all definitely fantastic today. Let's get right in the video. The prices aren't looking so great, though.
Show, folks, the weekly closes just came in across the board, and you're not going to believe what just happened on these charts. The signal we've been waiting for months, it just hit, and it is all lining up perfectly.
So, yeah, it's been absolutely terrible for the markets in the past few months in general, but I'm hoping it improves. It's been a disaster, basically, from 3.66 to 2.38.
With something massive brewing behind the scenes. I'm talking ETFs, government deals, and a price setup that looks almost scripted. It's like they've been waiting for this exact moment. I'm going to show you why what just happened could trigger one of the biggest crypto breakouts that we've ever seen, and why Bitcoin and XRP are about to melt faces again. So without further ado, sit back, relax, let's get into it. Bitcoin, $105,506. It's currently up 3.56% in the past 24 hours. ETH coming in at 3,595. It's up over 6%. And XRP coming in at a mean lean $2.38. It is up 4.57% as the total cryptocurrency market cap as a whole is up 2%, coming in at $3.49 trillion. Fear and greed sitting at a 24. People are still in the fear phase. Now, we're going to go over the XRP and Bitcoin charts next, and I want to...
So yeah, Bitcoin and XRP charts, but I think like right now, Bitcoin is gonna lead the way to what XRP happens. A lot of people are saying that if XRP is now so big that it can go its own price point, I still think it's very much tied to Bitcoin at this point.
Bullish on this thing, and we have a lot of room on this, and I've told you before, this region, which is about your 72 to 74, give or take, if that breaks and the Bitcoin chart becomes bearish, you will see this flip red, but that is doomsday scenario.
So yeah, this is the big problem right now. Bitcoin, when it's literally November, when historically it's up, XRP is down. So something smells fishy to me. Something is off here, right?
EMA line, like it's scared territory. Look at this. And we, since November of last year, so this time last year when XRP started that move up, when it was around 50 cents, and we had that 700% gain, we have always closed above this 50 EMA. This is the indicator you need so you can understand where this thing is going. Don't use it on a daily. Use it on the weekly and the monthly charts. Every time that this thing has come back above the 50 EMA on the weekly, guess what? It has gone parabolic within weeks. You combine that with the ETF filings in the background, your central bank pilots, and with...
So yeah, these are the main factors driving XRP right now. But again, hi brother, so Solana has an ETF approval, that's why performing so badly. The inflow should move the price. Again, once those XRPs get set in, I'm really excited for that. But at this point, it's in such early stages. I definitely think 100% they're going to get improved, the ETFs, right? But also Bitcoin needs to go up for the prices to do well. A deal to end the government shutdown is now taking shape. At least 10 Senate Democrats are signaling they support the funding bill. So hopefully that will end, and that's what caused the great scenario for the collapse.
The deal is coming together. Why does this matter? Simple. Very simple. This shutdown has been one of the biggest macro anchors on risk assets. Once it's gone, your liquidity is going to loosen. Treasury yields calm down, and guess what? Your risk appetite returns. That is your fuel for crypto.
So yeah, right now this video means that right now the markets are bad. It's not looking good, but with this government shutdown ending, we could be seeing some more hype, right? We could be seeing another rally that people have been waiting for at this point. But we also need to see Bitcoin go up. But if Bitcoin goes up, XRP goes up. So XRP ETFs are something that's going to boost it on its own. And then if Bitcoin goes up, that's another, major potential we have there.
And where this thing is going, don't use it on a daily. Use it on the weekly and the monthly charts.
Exactly. Like a lot of people are panicking over a few weeks of red when we literally saw months of green. So just a quick update on that. Smash that like button, guys, if you haven't already, and peace everyone.